Hello, everybody from around the world. This is Samson Lee coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Hope everybody has having a wonderful day. I know it's good morning in Asia, good evening in North America, afternoon in Australia, and maybe real late out there in Europe. So great to have you. Well, today we have a very, very special event on this webcast with a dear friend of mine. This gentleman I've known for a number of years now, and when I first met him, I was very impressed with what he has done in life in so many, I guess, industries and also even in education. And he was a very, very successful man. And when I met him, I didn't know what to make of him, but I was very impressed. But after I got to know him, I realized that he's a gentleman at heart, knows a lot, very wise man, and he's done much, much in his life to lead him to where he is today. Very successful, my dear friend, Mr. Raymond Tong in Singapore. Hello, Raymond. How are you?
Hello, everyone online, friends and family of Jeunesse. Thank you for having me here. And thank you, Samson, for kind introduction. But you know what? You are actually someone whom I regarded as a mentor all this year in Jeunesse business. I still can remember that when you first came to Singapore, that was the first meeting I had for Jeunesse meeting, because I have just signed up, from Taipei and came back to Singapore and without any knowledge and don't know what to do, honestly. And when you came to Singapore, even though I already have a small team, but I really don't know what to go. Then until that you sat down with us and you talked to us about how the business to be conducted and also the complaint and all this. I still remember the paper, that you have drew on it, on the complaint. I still keep until today, And thank you so much, and I'm so grateful to you. Thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking your time to be with us. And it was. How many years ago was it? Was it like 7 years?
Oh, it's 8 years.
8 years
Yes.
now. Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
time flies. And I think I remember after we met, we also went to Indonesia together.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, in
very
fact, that
exciting.
was a trip that really inspired me so much, from leaders like yourself and many. Yeah, for me to, see a better picture of a genius. Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, yes. So anyway, before we get too much into the business, why don't we let the folks out there know a little bit more about your background? Can you give them a short summary of what you've done before? It's very impressive.
Okay, okay. In fact, I'm just an ordinary people, like anyone. Except that, okay, when I was young, I already had this dream to be entrepreneur. Okay, reason very simple, because my dad used to run his own traditional business, and he was a self-made, entrepreneur. So I really admire him, but sadly he passed away too young, and he could not. I mean, we all could not succeed his business. And from there, we realized that, traditional business is not easy. Even when it comes to succession itself, is already a problem. But then when I was young, deep in my heart, I know that, I must be entrepreneur like him one day. Yeah. So, however, after I graduated from university, I didn't have the skill. I don't have the knowledge. I didn't have money to run a business, of course. Then I started working for people. I worked in the media line, newspaper group, and went on to broadcasting station. All in all, I spent about 10 over years until I really got sick and tired of corporate life. Then I quit the job at the peak of my career. Okay, then I went on to be a publisher, be my own boss. So for the first few years was smooth sailing until 1997. I don't know whether you still remember that, business was badly hit. So I had to close down the company to prevent myself from bankruptcy. So I did not want to go back to work for people. Yeah, I still want to pursue the same dream. Then I ended up in the educational business, yeah, with the help of a friend. But even though, educational business can be lucrative, but it's so competitive. Okay, manpower is always an issue, cash flow is always a problem, So at the end, so much so that I had to, drain all my energy, my what I call the effort and time, just to make sure the company afloat, even at the expense of my family life. So I knew something wasn't right. I had to change. So I was like on the lookout for any opportunity. So one day, you know, I chanced upon the network marketing company. Of course, it wasn't GNS that time. Yeah, that was the first network company that I was in. Initially, I was quite skeptical. Yeah, I don't know whether, you know, that is going to work for me. But then subsequently, I found that actually the model doesn't make sense. Then I went on to work for about 13 years. Yeah, but of course, I mean, that was an old kind of direct marketing model. It's much so different from what we're talking about today, GNS. So when I like, you know, even though I did make some good money, but I knew that for that kind of model, we have a problem because every month there's a lot of quota to meet, you know, personal sales and things like that. All right. So I think if there's a better way, you know, I would like to, you know, go for a better way. So one day I came across Jeunesse. So Jeunesse was in the third year, but I knew Jeunesse was doing very well. So I was so excited. I said, let's go and take a look at what Jeunesse is all about. So that time there wasn't any Jeunesse in Singapore. So I had to fly to what I call Taipei to try to make a research on the company. Yeah,
You were
I could just
serious,
go
huh?
to
I mean, you
I
were
could
pretty,
go to the
you were
Malaysia, but
pretty serious.
yeah, I was. So
I mean,
I
so
thought we're
let
just
me ask you though. Let me
okay.
ask you though. You know, so how did you? What made you decide to fly to spend money to go from Singapore to Taiwan to find out more? I mean, just to look, right?
Okay. I think time-wise, I do have, you know, because I have the freedom to control my time, right? With some passive income. Then I flew there also for another reason because I have lost touch with some of the educational so-called friends, you know. So I thought that maybe doing at the same time, yeah. Then of course, I think the most important thing is really to find out what Gina is all about. So I was so lucky to meet up with Kim, and she actually explained everything to me. Yeah. Then the other thing was also, you know, the product was actually working on my wife who had this frozen soda. Yeah. So I felt that if there's such a good, amazing product, why not? I just buy the product and come back, you know. Of course, the product was actually shipped from the States, not from the Taipei itself. So when I'm back in Singapore, I didn't really go full swing. It was until you guys came to Singapore and make a tour in Southeast Asia. And when I tag along, then I see this group of people, you know, it's so different. You know, these people, they are so successful and yet so kind. So I'm humble. You know, I say that especially most of them are business owner in a traditional way, and also people who are very rich and professional. And
Yeah.
they all want to do gymnasts. I say, wow, if that's the case, I think there must be something different for this group of people wanting to do gymnasts. Then from there, I start to explore further about the business model. Yeah.
Well, we definitely are a crazy group. I think I remember when that time when you went with us, we were going to, I think, already 4 or 5 different countries on that one tour. You know, every time, you know, I mean, I remember back then I used to travel a good 7 to 10 days a month, every month, you know, somewhere either in North America or in Asia. But you know, it's really to meet people like you who really inspire us to do more. Because looking back, you know, I mean, Raymond, I mean, I'm sure your business now after 8 years, right? 7, 8 years. I mean, you have done many million. You and your team have done many millions in sales. I mean, it's crazy. And of course, the platform is incredible. But what brings me back all the time is just the entrepreneur spirit. You know, I think one thing is that when I see people so inspired, they want to do something, they want to reach for something. They just didn't have the right vehicle, right? Maybe they were in a job or their traditional business, or maybe whatever industry they're in. They couldn't get to where they want to be. I mean, it's just like when I look back when I was in college. I think, you know, the way society is to tell us, you know what, you know, go to college. That's how you're going to get a decent job. You can be independent. And you know, and for some people like me, I study business. I want to get ahead. I want to have a decent life. I mean, I'm not one of those who want to be like a millionaire. I mean, it seems so far away from me. I did not come from a family with money. I was just very middle class. So, but I like you said that word many times, the freedom to control your life, the freedom to control your time. That's why I always wanted to have my own business, you know. But I didn't realize when I was young that, you know, I started in real estate, and then I went to the retail business. When I was 25, I started in the furniture business, having my first store. And then over time, I had 3 stores, you know, put in money, make money, lost money, unfortunately. By 2004, I was out of the business, and I had a big headache, you know. But I was still searching, you know. But I think like I hear in your story that, you know, it is a lot of ups and downs as an entrepreneur. But when the down times, I believe, are the times we definitely take on a more serious attitude of what we did, what we didn't do, and why, right? What did we do wrong? How could we do better? And what was the difference? And you know, before Jeunesse, that's what I was searching for, actually. I was searching for that. And just like you said, I happened to meet, you know, our friend, mutual friend, and incredible business leader, Kim Hui. So, and I realized that, you know, I met her in 2005. I saw her make millions in a few years. I was just shocked. I like, you know, but I saw it happen. I became good friends with her, but I did not make money like her. I mean, I made very part-time money, but I think I probably because I did it part-time. But, you know, but that was the first time I ever saw somebody actually drive a business and really earn that kind of money in such a short time. I mean, you know, most people don't even, you know, somewhere in the world, the average person in the world will never make $1 million US in their lifetime. That's a fact, you know. So you in Singapore, I'm in US. We do live in 2 of the most expensive countries in the world, a very first tier, right? First world countries. But, and we're lucky because opportunity and the freedom to do what we want exists. So for those many people out there, look, I would say that, and you can comment on it, you know, I believe like when we're in our 20s, we're really, most people, they just kind of go with the flow. They're searching, they don't know what they want to do, and they just try different things, but maybe they really never took it seriously enough to, or take themselves seriously enough to ignite that passion, right? And I would say, you know, a lot of people talk about passion, but for me, the word passion means really living life. Not the length of life, but the depth, the width, the breadth of life, right? The how we can live to our fullest. You know, when we're in 20s, most of us, we're like dumb. Some people are like out there experiencing the world, but most people are, they're just like, just going with the flow. And then in our 30s, after working a period of time, maybe in our mid 30s, late 30s, we start to realize, oh my gosh, maybe the time is flying by. You know, I need to get settled down. I need to get serious, more serious about, you know, getting ahead, or else I'll never get ahead, right? Because we realize that when we're young, we still have the energy, right? And then when we get to our 40s, hopefully we acquire enough experience to really make things happen. And then in our 50s, we're starting to worry about our retirement. I mean, what do you think about? I mean, I know you have kids and daughters, and what do you think about that? I mean, for them, they're very different where you are or where I am.
Okay, I think my children now they are having their own fulfilling career. More important thing is that they are very happy because they don't have to take care of me, because I can you know, have my own income. Yeah, I'm still live healthily. Yeah, then they can do the thing that they need to do and want to do. Yeah, so I wish that I will like them, you know, before, you know. But anyway, we all in a different era. For me, I think when I was young, I also didn't know that what to look for in life. Yeah, but now I know after so many years. You know, I've gone through different stages of life. Yeah, and experienced all the ups and downs. You know, If you ask me, what is the motivating factor in life? I don't think money is part of it, but I don't think it's the most important thing. I think at the end of the day, have you heard of the saying that, poor people can be happy and the rich people may not be happy? Do you agree on that? Yeah,
Yeah.
so it does show that the happiness doesn't come from money, right? Yeah. So I think, I suppose it's only, to be happy is so simple because it's just a state of mind. Just you have to feel the sense of achievement, the sense of worthiness, and also you can be with a group of people, in the same committee that sharing the same value. Yeah, and to be loved, I think, and to love others. I think that's very important. And ultimately, I think is also self-actualization. Yeah, to do things that you always want to do and didn't have the time or money to do it. So I always ask myself, or sometimes ask our partners this question: if money and time is not a problem, what would you like to do? Yeah, and most of them don't know what to come up with the answer. Yeah, I said to go back and think about it. That means you're not ready, right? Yeah, so I think coming back to the point about my family, I think if I was running a traditional business, or even if it's today, to run a successful traditional business, I will have headache because at my age, I have to think of retirement, But in traditional business, succession is always a problem, right? Even though you can do well, you have to pass down the business to your next generation. But they may not have the skill or ability to take over the business and to run well like you, okay? Or even they does, or they do, they will not have, they may not have the interest. Yeah, whereas in the case of Jeunesse, I don't have to worry because I know that one day I can just transfer the name to them. Yeah, so that part of it is very important. I have a sense of peacefulness, Yeah, I think that's very important. Yes.
That's beautiful. So you give them, yeah, a lot of times what I realize is, and this is aside from what we plan to talk about anyway, but it just come up that the ability of that our business can be transferred or willed to the next generation is amazing. But that also comes to mind the idea of the word that comes to my mind is legacy. Today we are here not because we want to give money to other people, but rather leave a legacy. And in a sense, the legacy, I was talking with a friend of mine. He's actually a pastor. So, and we're just talking, pastors are very philosophical. They have a lot of wisdom and it's nothing to do with religion or anything. But he was saying that, what, legacy is not what you give somebody, but what you put in them. Talk about generation. I have a couple of kids. They're young kids. My daughter's almost 6. My son is going to be 8 in February. I definitely want to leave a legacy to them, but not in the sense of the money, because, yeah, they're very well provided for, but I would definitely want to leave a legacy. And that's the thing, and in a business, let's go back to business for a second, because it does relate to the business. And one thing in traditional business is that it's hard to duplicate the owner, isn't it?
Yes,
the owner of the business, of a traditional business, let's say like today I went to my favorite coffee shop, all right? And oh, my friend Patty's online. Hello, Patty. Okay, so she was at the coffee shop. She works there. And anyway, I have a whole bunch of other people online. Oh, you know what? Might as well say hello to Linda from Malaysia. In the chat, we have Flower Life out in Southern Cal. We have Boz in Long Beach. Hello. And if you want to comment, feel free. We have the chat available. But anyway, going back to traditional business is that usually the owner, I was a boss before. We put in the most money, we put in the most risk, we end up working the most there. Okay. And so, but it's hard to find people, good people, to duplicate this process or the passion in the business, right? The urgency, because we have to pay the rent, we have to pay the tax, we have to pay the employees, we have vendors to pay. We need to every day, how we're gonna make money. We gotta think of ways to keep moving. But most of the time, the employees, they don't have the ownership of the business. They don't feel that it's their business, so they don't put as much effort or the attitude, right? So I realized, you know, often like in our business, because of the administrative system that Jeunesse has, the online system, there's no paperwork, everything's done automatically. That part of the headache is the duplication of that, the management of that is done just like that, because the company does all that. And what we do is going out there just to share, to do the marketing, to open our mouth, you know, to let people know about good stuff. And that's why we're always happy, right? Always looking younger and younger, right? So, but the duplication part is one of the most difficult things in business. That's what I found, you know, in my furniture business. That's, I can open up to 3 stores, but it was already a mess by the time I opened 3 stores, because too many people to manage and too many problems. But so how to get, you know, like in our industry, how do young people, in a sense, or new people also into being an entrepreneur, how can they get from such a small position in business to build something massive? What do you think about that? How do they do that? Maybe you can describe some of the processes.
Okay, I think basically if you just said it rightly that you know, a lot of those traditional business chores is to be taken away from running a Jeunesse business. Okay, that's because we have the platform like Jeunesse, which is well managed and which is doing you know, a lot of right thing for us, and we just need to leverage on it. But we need to work as a team, okay? Because this business is a teamwork, right? You look at the complaint, you know that, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you know them or you don't know them, but basically these are the people who actually come into a business to work together with us. So we hope that everybody can succeed in this business. And this business, even though you say, okay, there may be competition, you know, among team or even individual, okay, but that is friendly, okay, and in fact that is better, so that, you know, we will be inspired, you know, and we know that this business is feasible when people can actually make it. I always like to use this analogy. I say that if you climb up a mountain, let's say Mount Everest, you have hundreds of teams trying to go on to the top, right? Yeah. So some, I mean, at their own pace and own time. Okay, some may be slower, some may be faster, some will reach there earlier. But at the end of the day, if you happen to know that someone already reached there, you'll be very happy, because you know that even you're at the foot of the hill or the mountain, you'll know that, you know, one day you'll be there. Yeah. So there's a hope, you know, for everybody. So at the end of the day, when everybody can climb out there, they'll be best. Because this business is not a zero-sum game. It's unlike you playing poker. Let's say there are 5 of us playing, you know, if I'm a winner, say I won the $100, someone going to lose $100 to me, right? Yeah, if it's only one loser, then they have to be from that person. If it's 2, then combined, they have to lose $100 to me. That is called zero-sum game. But in Jeunesse, it's all winners. Okay, so long as you just follow, you know, with a good system and a platform, you will reach there. So I think the first thing is the mindset, okay, of why you're doing Jeunesse. I think very important. And you really have to treat Jeunesse as a business. Yeah, and it's in fact a worldwide business already, and people already done it, and so us. So the people like you have already blazed a trail, so we just have to follow it. Yeah, so very simple. And the other thing is about learning. Okay, because in any business, you must have the so-called the learning attitude. You may know something, but when you come to a new business, you got to learn from scratch. Let's say for myself, I was with a network marketing platform before. I thought, you know, it's going to be the same, but it ended up it's not the same. Yeah, even the model itself is not the same. Yeah, so if I become happier, because I say if that's the case, you know, not only that I can do well, everybody can do well. Yeah, so I think that is what the business model set for, you know. So other than that, I think following system, working as a team, you know, knowing what you want to do in Jeunesse, I think these are all important factors. Yeah.
You know, that word, the system, comes to mind very well. You know, like you said, we do work with so many people around the world in our teams and their teams. And one thing is, there's a proven way to do certain things, right? Tried and true, right? So the odds are better doing it certain ways than better than doing other ways, right? And then also when something is systematic, right? In a team, we can leverage off of each other's talents, our experiences, right? And I think, especially what we do now is marketing. And marketing involves in telling stories, right? And then getting the message out in an effective way where it can touch people. Not only just, oh, sell, oh, this is the greatest. I mean, that doesn't work, I mean, everybody says that. So what's the difference? Rather than, it needs to be a more personal message where how can it touch people's lives? How can it change people's lives? Now, if they believe it or not, it's not up to us. And why I say that, because I remember many years ago, in 2005, when I first met my friend Kim, in the different business, and I saw her. She has an accountant background. She also was a vice president at a supplement company before, but she got laid off and she fell into the industry. I remember her doing a presentation. She's saying, this is a life-changing business. And at the time, so it's 2005. Well, I just closed all my furniture businesses in 2004. And I thought, well, I've never seen a business really change somebody's life for the better. Obviously change for the worse for me, okay? But I said, what does that mean? What does that mean a business can change somebody's life? But you know what? I mean, she's amazing. She has a great heart. We became good friends. She's from Hong Kong. I'm from Hong Kong. So, Cantonese, we get along just like that, right? Speak Cantonese, I can get along just like that, right? So, but anyway, she was very mindful. She's an amazing friend. And, but, I did that business part-time. I was an auctioneer at the time. I saw her make the money. I was just like shocked, meeting. And then how do you make the money? But at the time, I through that first business, I know, and I knew of 25 people in her team that become millionaires in 2.5 years. And it's just that I wasn't one of them. I wasn't. I guess even though I was there, I was watching. I was like. Peter watching Jesus, right? So I was like, Peter's just watching and not really doing, right? The doubting Peter, right? So, but I had the opportunity to watch. It can be done. And I came to the conclusion that it doesn't matter what business, if somebody is really doing it, that means it can be done. The question is how. That's all, right? And what it went through. And the hardest thing in our business, and I believe in almost any business, is know the true price and the story of success. Because success does cost money. I mean, not money, sorry. There is a price to be successful, You have to sacrifice certain things, but it'll end up that when you look back, those things you don't need anyways. So, and the thing is, I guess going back to what we talked about earlier about maybe growing up in the different generation, different age group where we want to be, we all have different needs. And maybe you can talk a little bit share with us about how you view our needs, our basic needs, and how being an entrepreneur can fulfill some of those needs.
Okay. I think when I was young, I think I don't know why I need actually. I just need money. I just need to live. Of course, I hope to have a better life. Yeah. Then I wasn't very happy because we're struggling, and a lot of politics in a corporate life and things like that. That make me very unhappy. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I try to understand what life is. And I look at animals. They can be very happy. They just have the food, they have their food and have shelter over them. They feel safe. I think that's good enough for them. Yeah, but of course, human being, we are the spiritual animal. We cannot just live just a basic life. But we have to start from there, right? We still need basic needs, which is shelter over us and also food, so that we're not dying in hunger. Then, of course, we also need to have feel safe. all right, in the environment. So as any animal, okay, I think we must feel in a safe environment to live. Yeah, then but it's not enough for human being. I think we are social animal, you know, so we need to have some kind of social needs. We need to belong to, you know, a group, you know, and we feel happy about, you know. That's still not enough because we still want to be recognized, you know. So it's all human the same, right? We want to be recognized. We want to feel self-worthiness, yeah. But ultimately, it's a self-actualization. Basically, these five needs, hierarchy of needs is actually from Maslow, okay, who is a sociologist, uh, letting us know that actually these are the needs that basically can be categorized into it. So I think in terms of genes, let's coming back to this genes. You are talking about basic need in terms of like making money and you can, you know, live well. Of course, genes can provide you that, right? You feel safe, okay, because the environment, everything, you know, is, you know, very so-called conducive, friendly, you know, meet a lot of friends and things like this that go with the social needs as well, right? But the part about recognition, okay, you find that if you are traditional bosses, uh, even though you can make money, people may not respect you, right? Because they may fear you because you may not hire them or you may fire them, right? But truly respect is not easy, okay? But you think about, because there is a, as you said, a price to pay for it. Yeah, because people who are trading their time for the money, they think that is what they deserve. Yeah, they don't feel grateful. Yeah, as an employee. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that most people are like that. You know, but whereas in Genes, you find that, you know, what you're trying to do is you want yourself to be successful. But the only way to become successful is to help more people to be successful. Yeah. So in that sense, you will touch more life. Yeah, and they will feel grateful to you. And in terms of the company side, they will also like to, you know, recognize you, right? Which is, I think, important for anyone to be recognized. And ultimately, you are talking about self-actualization. When you make your money, especially in a passive way, then you can do things you want to do. Yeah. So I think that itself, in Genes, I'm quite sure that, you know, all of us can achieve all the five needs. Yeah.
That's very
I
good.
don't know whether that makes sense to you.
Oh
Yeah.
no, you know what? That actually gets me thinking a little bit more. You know, and I'm always learning. You know, especially from you.
Uh,
Um, yeah, actually, you know what? That does make sense when you talk about, you know, at a job, the employee might not feel grateful because they're trading their time for money. You know, and that time, of course, that they're trading, they would rather be going on vacation or going to play, going to a good restaurant, spending time with friends instead of working. You know, that's a very interesting point. You know, I never thought about it that way, right? So how valuable is a time? And well, of course, we all know that, you know, you can never buy time back. You can never buy time back. And, you know, like today in the during the global pandemic, we are losing time where, I mean, we could be spending time, literally, quote unquote, spending, like spending money, but spending time in a much better way than how we are doing now. So like it was pre lockdown, pre COVID, right? And so you know, and nowadays there's more than ever. I find, especially, you know, we know there's recently a tremendous success story in Southeast Asia with a couple of teams. They are like working hard, and the comment, the very to the point comment I get from them was that, you know what, people are so tired. You know, they're tired. They all want a plan B. They're looking. They're hungry. I say, yeah, about time. It's about time they feel like that, right? So, you know, in a sense, our platform is very interesting because I think as an entrepreneur, like you're saying, we all have certain needs, and definitely one of them is, besides the basic ones, right? Food and safety and you know, gotta have a
social needs.
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, social needs and all that. We need to move forward, and for me, you know, one of the most amazing thing is interacting people just like yourself, where, you know, come from a huge background of experience and wisdom, where we can help the people out there today from around the world. And I want to bring a shout out to them again. So because, you know, people are looking. We have people from Texas. We have people from Canada, Toronto, Vancouver. We have from Malaysia, from Singapore, from all over. Let me see, Los Angeles, Dallas, okay, Austin, Orange County, all over. Hong Kong. We have all kinds of people logging in. Some people I don't even know where they're from. Okay, so but like I said, I was saying is that, you know, there's many reasons why people are on this webinar. They're searching. You know, if you're on this webinar, you're searching too. You're looking for something. You're looking for better ideas, how to get ahead, how to learn more, and that's the part that I would say that our business is very interesting part of our business about learning. And maybe at this time I can point to more of the evolution of where we are today, maybe as a business. I remember when I first started in 2009, nobody know what Jeunesse is, and we just had one product, then second month we had two products. How to build a multi-million-dollar global company on two products, right? We had no idea, but we went out to share the opportunity and how it works, right? So that's why today, you know, I'm 51, but I look 35, right? And you, Raymond, Raymond, I know you're like close to 100, but you look like you're like in your around 50.
I'm in my 60 anyway.
Look, you're like half your age.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but you know, it's amazing to share like stem cell technology, about resveratrol, stuff like, you know, how it helps our body and our skin and all that with people. I mean, I was talking with somebody today and about the product. I mean, they were asking how to do the business and this and that. I was just saying, look, when you have cutting edge technology and it works, if you look better on the outside, you feel better on the inside too. More confidence and all that. And that's what I found. And, you know, there's been some amazing story with the product. But aside from that, I think from the business point of view, you know, nowadays, I believe the lockdown has really accelerated the idea of work from home, e-commerce. I mean, one of the companies, I mean, you're in Singapore, but so I don't know if you heard, you might have, that Amazon, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, right? The founder of Amazon, I think he is like worth over $100 billion now or something like that, some crazy number. I mean, his net worth went up like 20, 30, 40% because of the lockdown. So sometimes I think, you know, not to talk about politics or anything, all right? Whoever wants a lockdown are probably getting paid by those people. I don't know. So by the super rich. But anyway, but for the average person like me and many of us out here, we just still try to build a business, right? You know, maybe, you know what? Maybe what we can talk about now, we still have about 20 minutes. So maybe we can talk a little bit about marketing. I know we didn't plan on it, but I think it's important because me and you, we both come from traditional business background. Me, real estate, retail, and also an auction business. And you know, your media, your education, and then also, you know, now in this industry. What we do is marketing, right? And when I look back and I want to, you know, kind of, you know, cue it up like this, is that when I was in my furniture business, I used to spend $5,000 per weekend for a Friday and Sunday ad in the Los Angeles Times in one area of LA. So I was spending like $20,000 US a month doing advertising. And I've tested, you know, I say, you know what, if you want the sale price, we have this on sale, bring in the ad, you get another, you know, 5%, 10% off. Maybe a weekend, I might get maybe 5 to 10 people in, that's it, the whole weekend, from spending $5,000. And I would have to say, you know, after I got into our industry, I realized what you have to do is to work your network to grow your business. So for even in traditional business, what I realized was maybe instead of spending $20,000 a month in my furniture business for advertising, I should have spent $20,000 a month having a big party. Maybe hire the magician, do some fundraising, hire Cirque du Soleil, do some acrobatic performances, food and drink, invite all my existing customer, and hey, bring your neighbor, bring your friends. Maybe I should have done that, because that worked in our business, doesn't it? Because we have many meetings, many events, many parties. I mean, I think, and many vacations. I think some people come in, Jeunesse, just for the free vacation that the company pays for you if you do well. So when I look at it, looking back, when I was in the furniture business, I wasted so much money. And I did not know how to do marketing at all. And like I said, when we first started, I mentioned about telling story, and getting the message across that touches people, right? I think that's real marketing, right? You come from media. What do you think about that? I mean, compare now.
I was in the media industry for 10 over years. Okay, I have seen many advertisers, maybe say McDonald's, they spend a lot of money. I still remember the last contract before I left the corporation, I signed with McDonald's. That was about almost close to 30 years ago, right? And that contract worth 7 million Sing dollar, yeah. And not forgetting, it's only for Singapore market, and that time was only about, I think, 30 plus outlets. I mean, to advertise for that kind of money, and just on one media alone, and that's on TV, and with only about 30 plus outlet, how many hamburger they have to sell in order to recoup that, the investment. So this is why that you cannot complain about, they are selling for $5 for one burger. I'm not too sure about in the state in Singapore is about this price. How much got to go into the advertising? Yeah. Then let alone, if you have to engage the spokesman, the celebrity to do the job for you, and that's even worse, right? So we all know, but in the traditional way, that is the only way to get people to your business, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays we are talking about sharing economy, and Jeunesse is one of sharing economy model. Advertising is not necessary, okay? Because I'm talking about into the media. Yeah, it's more of sharing. So you look at social media nowadays is prevailing everywhere. The reason is because it's actually connecting all of us. Yeah. So if you have a good thing to share, everybody come to know about it, your business will boom. Yeah. Especially with the platform of Jeunesse, I think it's so well known, so established, become almost a household name now. Yeah. So I think it's a good time and the right time for us to engage in this business. First thing first, I think the model has changed. We all know. Second thing, we are riding on a platform which is proven. Yeah. And from the fact that the company has done so well over the past 11 years. When I first joined, it was only the third year. They already ranked number 82. From there, I already saw the future of Jeunesse. True enough, when it comes to 6 years, we became the billion-dollar company. Yeah, and we keep doing that, year after year until today. Yeah, so I think the company is going to be the number one. Okay, I'm very certain about this. The way it goes and the way I see how the management and the distributor leaders work together. There is a future for us. So for those who are really still hesitating and not too sure, I think it's a time for you to really, take a good look of Jeunesse. Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah.
Well, the marketing part is amazing because, like you talk about social media, from traditional media to social media. I think a lot of people get really confused of how to share, and they're afraid that, people don't listen to them and all that. Does that really matter? Do you think it really matters, Raymond, that people don't listen to you?
No, I think what it matters is what you want to share, from your heart. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I want to say something about this business can be high tech, but of course must be also high touch. Okay, yeah. We mustn't forget that we are talking about, a connection, from one another. So that part of it is very important. Human being, we need to have a high touch. We mustn't like just doing high tech alone and throw away the high touch. Okay, it's just like, you mustn't throw in with the baby, you should throw away the water, So the thinking is that, okay, we can forego some of the old school or old thinking, right? But there are certain value in it. We still have to upkeep. Yeah. So Jeunesse is a people business. So I think we have to treat people well. We have to have, concern for them. Then we can have each other to, with their own talent to work together. I think that's very important. Yeah, that's why we need the culture. We need the system. Yeah.
I like that. So high touch, culture, and system. So yeah, those are extremely powerful points because a lot of people, like I said, they don't know how to share, where to share, but at the end of the day, it's about high touch, right? It's about relationship. It's about how you treat people, but not only for the business, I believe on a daily basis, right? Because how we do something is how we do everything, right? So, I mean, that's talk about self-development, how we develop ourselves to be better at in life and whatever we do. And then the culture is very important. Culture is something where people can feel that they are part, that bonds a community together. Is that right? Do
Yes.
you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So culture in a sense that, that people can relate to, they can feel good about to be in, and then we have something common to talk about, and the excitement and all that. So we leverage the culture, right? And obviously, I think when you first started in our platform and met us touring Southeast Asia, you felt who we are.
Yes.
You felt the culture, yeah?
I feel the sense of belonging. In fact, honestly speaking, when I was on the old platform, I mean, of course, we also work with different group of people, but hardly I come across people like you, okay, who are professional, and they are mostly also running your own business, have the kind of business mindset, and more importantly is that all of you are successful and humble. I like this culture because Jeunesse, let's say without this culture, because our USGS culture is also in line with the Jeunesse culture. Yeah, that's why both work together. Yeah. So I think that's important. Without the system to have that kind of culture, I think people cannot have mutual trust, common value to work together. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So the common value brings people together also. So the culture, common value brings people together. So yes. A lot of times, like so maybe for the people out there, we can literally say, you know what? It doesn't matter what you do, but it's a matter of doing it from the heart. We all have our own story, our own reason, right? The question is, are we willing to speak the truth? Be authentic, right? And then do it in a way for sure where it's high touch, right?
Yes.
High touch also touches the heart. So how we share is important, I think, and so it doesn't matter what kind of business even, right? Besides our platform, any business it can be applied to, right? Like you go to Starbucks, they say, oh, what is your name? And they call out your name. It's your coffee. You belong there. This coffee is yours, right? It's just not like, oh, here it is. Right? So very, very powerful. So the system brings in the little habits. It teaches the little habits that creates this whole culture. Creates the value of what we have to offer, builds the value. And in a sense, it builds the brand of someone or something. Is that right?
Yeah. We must have that identity, so, where we belong, and also that we feel good about it. I think that's very important. I think just to sum it up, I think in terms of running Jeunesse, basically our life and our work is as one. That's very important. Okay, because mostly I think you think about traditional business, okay, you could spend so much time on the business and then at the expense of your family life or your personal life. But whether in Jeunesse, it's a lifestyle itself, right? When you work on it itself, you are also live on it. Yeah. So that itself is very humane. Yeah. So I always say that, when we born, okay, when we are born, we are talking about there are only finite time that you can live. Okay. Some may have live longer, some shorter. But nevertheless, I think what we are trying to achieve, right, at the end of the day. Okay. Assuming there's a bucket of water which represent the water, I may represent the time that we have, but the water start to drain away. every day you live, right? But where does this water go to? Everybody will trade time for money. So at the end, you're trying to fill another bucket, you know, to make it full, and that is a financial bucket. Yeah. But then when you fill out the other bucket, you find that there is still another bucket which is empty, which is a spiritual bucket, you know, which is something that you want to do in life, but always don't have the chance or time to do it. Yeah, that as well as this, as far as Jonas is concerned, you find that actually you are filling the two buckets at the same time, right? Well,
Yeah.
on one hand, you trying to make your living and money. On the other hand, you also, you know, become your life way of life and to have your own so-called self-actualization. Yeah. So that's the analogy I would like to give. Yeah.
Wow, that bucket example is powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, we only have so much in the bucket, so don't poke holes in it so it doesn't go any faster. But you know, that reminds me, as you were talking about that, of a story that Les Brown talks about. And you know, we brought Mr. Les Brown to LA, to Hong Kong, to Singapore, right? It's amazing. So Les Brown, one of his famous stories is about talking about the graveyard, right? Do you remember that?
Mm.
You know, he said, the richest place in the world is not in the gold mines of not in the diamond mines of South Africa or the gold mines in Congo. They are in the graveyard, right? I'm like, what's he talking about? But you know, the graveyard, it is the richest place in the world because that's where dreams are buried, dreams that never fulfilled, songs that were never written, books that were never written, things that people wanted to do, places people want, they never did. I said, wow, you know, that's so powerful.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, I think one of the things is that we lose track of the urgency of life, the passion of life. You know, most people lose it. They don't even think about that. I mean, there are people who do, and they're living their dreams, and that's amazing. That's all those like fabulous YouTube videos that we watch, and the people like they're like sailing around the world on YouTube. They're doing skiing. That's how they do it. They get paid through the YouTube, whatever crazy stuff they do. So nowadays, on social media, right? So those people are living their dreams. But how many people aren't? And at the same time, though, you know, you got to go out there and be a part of a platform that can create the income so you can live your dream, right? And if I knew something like Jeunesse was available when I was 21, 22, I would have jumped on it right away. If I only knew the success I would have today, right? I mean, we all say that looking back.
Yeah. How I wish I'm young and to discover the Jeunesse early. Yeah.
Ah, you are still young. Use more product.
Yeah, just to add on to the point you just said, I
Yeah.
think according to statistics, you know, about 90% of people, before they pass on, okay, they regret a lot of things they wanted to do and didn't have the time, money to do it. Yeah, but not so much about the glory in the past. Okay, it's always something that you wanted to do, you didn't have the chance or didn't have the money or didn't do it. Yeah, so I think we shouldn't let that time, let the day come.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to bring one more point to close. You know, one more point. I think it's important that I just caught it when you were talking about looking at our past glory. Past glory, and I don't know if you agree, but for me, past glory or past failures, it holds us back. Do you agree? Because I think, you know, to truly move forward, you know, in whatever we do, we have to let go of the past in some capacity, because the people who get stuck on their glory or stuck on their failure, they're literally mentally stuck in that time. Literally, right? Because I've learned that you know, science has shown us that if we think about a past, we're literally reliving that moment, because when the emotions and that we have thoughts, it creates emotions. And those emotions are supplemented by chemicals that our brain secretes and puts us in that state physically. Like people say that if you're in fear, your immune system is down. you're more susceptible to sickness. So if we are literally stuck in a place of glory and stuck in the past failure, we are psychologically stuck there and we cannot grow, right? So I would say that, for most people out there, during this COVID time, it is a time for reflection. Would you not say that? But at the same time, it's about time where people get tired and they need to move forward. So maybe we have a couple minutes left. So maybe Raymond, maybe to summarize or just to maybe set our audience, help them move forward. Maybe give them some words of encouragement you can tell them.
I think basically we are so blessed that to have Genius as a platform that we can work and live at the same time. And I know one thing, if you know what you want in Genius, they are all there for you. So don't hesitate. Just believe in yourself, believe in the system, believe in the company. And people like Samson and so many leaders has already shown us the path. In fact, they walk the path. So I think we just have to follow, and as well as to follow the system. Yeah, I think we'll see you at the top.
There you go. And then my closing part would be that, well, first I want to thank you, Raymond, for taking your time, valuable time. I know you're very busy.
It's my honor, I think to having this opportunity to do co-hosting with you, Samson. You are always my mentor.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
No. One thing I learned is that, especially in Genius, I found that the most learning is when I hang among the most successful people in our business, and I really catch their wisdom. And especially you're in Singapore, I'm from US, the culture is different. 70% of Singapore, for example, are Chinese ethnically. And then we have a mix of Indian, Indonesian, we have a Caucasian and all that. It's a very diverse society. I mean, I've never been to a place like that before. But Singapore is also one of the most expensive places in the world to live. I mean, when you came to pick me up in your huge Jaguar, and then I found out how much just to get a license, it costs $100,000. I almost fainted. I mean, you gotta have some money to live in Singapore. So, but that success, obviously you have paid, for your success, throughout your life. And now, and a few years ago, we happened to find the time and the place to meet up. What was the Chinese saying? When something amazing gonna happen, the right people and the right timing makes it happen. So we're very blessed to have you, Raymond, from our global audience. And so in closing, I would say that, life is an evolution, right? That's kind of how we title the subject tonight. It is about evolution, and it is about our own personal revolution, evolution and revolution. The question is, will we do it? Will we take it seriously? Will we take the chance? A little bit right before our call, Raymond, and everybody out there, I was talking with a leader, one of my leaders in Canada, and they're like, should I go for it or not? And my question is, what's the hesitation? You either do it or you don't do it, right? So why are the team holding back? What's holding them back? How come they haven't put in the orders? How come they haven't moved forward? You got to get in the game to win. And that I'm talking about not in business, but in the game of life. You got to get in it. So I hope all of you out there, enjoy our little talk. We're very honored to have Raymond with us. He is one of the wise men of Southeast Asia. You can tell by the story that he tells, okay? But we are fortunate to have talents like him and many of you out there, because without you, we don't have our community. And with our community, we can keep inspiring, keep leading, keep sharing the wisdom and the experiences that's possible for all of us to move forward, not only in our platform with Jeunesse, but also in life. Because success is not guaranteed to anybody. Success is up to each one of us. And at the same time, we can get there faster together in this culture and community, global community. So thank you very much. And thank you, Raymond.
Thank you very much, Samson. And thank you for all listening in. I think, I hope that with this little sharing that we can inspire you. Definitely, I learned a lot from Samson, always. Thank you, Samson.
Thank you, Raymond. So God bless everybody. Stay safe and healthy wherever you are. And we'll see you same time, same place next week. And yeah, all right.
Stay
Talk
safe.
to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
If you see something for yourself, get back to the person who shared this video with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the official USGS YouTube channel to receive future videos.